Hello everyone. So I am Loveneesh Dhir, a crowdsource influencer from Delhi region. So today we'll be talking about what is Google Crowdsource and how to contribute to Google Crowdsource. So firstly, let's talk about the Google's mission behind crowdsource. So the Google's mission behind crowdsource is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful to all the people across the globe. So basically, let's take an example now that how Google is going to do that. So from this video, we'll understand how users globally utilize the various Google products to communicate and make their daily task easier. So basically, the most translated words every day are "How are you?" "Thank you," and "I love you." That Google uses every day. The users uses every day. So what Google Crowdsource app does is it helps to generate data for the AI models that we are training. So, for an example, let's say that I am in any other country like Japan or something else, and I don't know Japanese. So, what I can simply do is I can use Google Lens or Google Translate to communicate with the people around there. So basically the next story is from India, and it features a mother who used to teach her child with the help of Google Lens. So let's have a look at this. Let me turn on the captions. So she is Urmila from UP, and it's very difficult for her as she's a uneducated woman, and she just wanted to teach her kids. So the for the first time when she thought that her children are unable to do their homework, so she used her smartphone to get the task done, and now she daily utilize this assistant and lens thing to help her kids to study, and she's also using this for her day-to-day tasks. So like she's thinking that she has become dependent on herself after using Google Assistant. So let's move forward to the next slide. Actually, there was some problem with the audio thing. So I was unable to notice that in the first video, and let's move forward. So basically we know that AI is everywhere, and AI helps us in very exciting ways. So you may have used different Google products like Google Search, Google Translate, or Google Photos, which are powered by AI. So basically AI makes it easier for us to do things in everyday, like searching photos of friends or family in Google Photos, breaking down language barriers via Google Translate, or typing emails on Go with predictive typing in Gmail. Or we can say that we can get our day-to-day tasks done by using Google Assistant. So all these things that AI can do is also powered by the data that goes into it. And in Google Crowdsource, we contribute to that particular data. So AI is only as good as the data behind it. So basically, the more good the data will be, so the more the accurate results would be there. So basically, AI will have the greatest impact when everyone can access it, and when it's built with everyone's benefit in the mind. So this is the main motive behind Google Crowdsource, to make AI products universally accessible to all. So basically, you have heard of machine learning. So basically, the you can say that the main working force or driving force behind crowdsource is machine learning. So machine learning is a technique that allows computers to acquire skills by looking at several examples instead of training through a set of rules. So basically, the main difference between machine learning and traditional programming is, in machine learning we train models by uh, we are not explicitly programming the models. We are giving it training examples, and it learns from the training examples. So basically, machine learning makes it easier for us to do our things every day. So we can speak to anyone in any language, and we can get to know that exactly where are we. And in machine learning, computers find, identify, and learn common patterns through set of data. So let's take an example here. So let's assume that we show a computer many images of cars. So after that, the computer will be able to recognize car in any picture. So the more variety of the car images we show to it, the better it gets at recognition. So that's why your contributions to the crowdsource app are important. So basically, they help us to create and verify the accurate examples for computers to learn, which in turn enables features that can benefit everyone. So basically, when you verify image labels, or you do any task at Google Crowdsource, you are helping apps like Google Photos, Google Lens to get better at classifying photos or identifying objects. So when you label sentiments of sentences in Google Crowdsource, you help Google Map and Google Play Store to organize reviews in your particular language. So one can say that Google has a very large data set already. So why there is a need of crowdsource then? So basically, Google has a large data set in the major languages only. So basically, the major data that compromise is of English. So basically, at Google Crowdsource, we want local culture to be there. So you can contribute in any of your local language. Like I used to contribute in Hindi and Punjabi both. So basically, as a part of the global cloud source community, you are joining the contributors in our country and throughout the world to contribute to millions of examples. So your responses are combined with thousands of others users and answers to determine a best response. So we are calling it the ground truth. So let's say that I am validating a translation in Punjabi. So I let's quote example that 100 people have validated that translation. So we are determining the best response from that 100 people and terming it as a ground truth. So the ground truth is fed to a machine learning model that find patterns to learn specific skills, such as how to identify cars in a photo or how to translate from one language to another. So what a machine learns is limited by the data it is given. So if we develop a image recognition algorithm with images from a very small part of world, it will be only able to organize the objects from that part of world. In order to make it work for apps like Google Photos, we must train machine learning examples using images from every part of the world. So let's take another example here. So when you search for a photo of bride on Google Photos particularly, it is easier to identify a western bride, or you can say identify bride from the western part of world. But the photos will be able to identify the bride from another part of world. So the thing is, we want you to bring more diverse and unbiased information over the internet. So basically this is a photo of a bride from North India. So the thing here is that Google Photos can easily identify the photo of a bride from a western region, but it is hard for it to identify a bride from Indian region. So what may be the reason behind that? The reason behind that is the main reason behind that is there is a lack of examples from the training data of our country. So basically, by contributing to crowdsource, we are preserving our own culture. So let's quote another example here. So Google Photos can easily identify or you can say easily find pictures of pancakes in your photo library. So in Google Photos, you can simply search for any dish or anything that you want, and it categorizes things as well. But the major thing arises here is Google Photos can easily identify pancake, but it can't identify the photo of paneer. So basically, the thing is same here as well. There is a lack of training examples. So you will be astonished to see that you know uh, till now we have collected a 9 million number of images in our open image dataset through Crowdsource. So all the images are open sourced, and I will be sharing the link via chat in a few seconds with the image dataset. So but you will be like the most populated countries in the world are India and China. So only 3% of those images are from India and China. So it's very sad to see that there are less than 3% of images from India and China, the countries with the largest population across the world. So let's think about representations from small countries like Vietnam or Japan or Kenya. So that is the problem that Crowdsource is trying to address. Crowdsource is trying to get the culture from every part and every state of the world. So to solve this example, I already told you that we need to get a millions of images from all around the world to train the machine learning models. So let's get back to the bride thing. So I have a really good South Indian friend, and she says that in South India, in Tamil Nadu, in every 100 to 150 kilometer, bride's look is very different. So basically, Google Photos may find it very difficult to identify the a South Indian bride. So we can say that there may be a lot of examples from North India as well. But think about South India, where in every few kilometers the look of bride changes. So we'll take our next example from South India as well. So we can, help to train ML data. For example, each of these images are different kinds of dosa. So basically, there are many types of dosa in South India as well, and I am blessed to have a South Indian friend that I have ate every type of dosa possible. So the main problem here arises is, even after eating, I don't know the particular name of the each variety of the dosa. So I think we have many Punjabis here, right? So let's quote another example. Let's take dosa aside. So let's say that we are taking examples of laddus. So there are various types of laddu, besan laddu, til besan laddu, etc., etc. And there comes pinni. So I think many of you are aware about what a pinni is. I would love to hear yes in the chat section if you know that what a pinni is. So basically, pinni is a type of laddu in Punjab, and it's a homemade laddu. So Google Photos may find it very difficult to recognize a pinni itself. So basically, we need a dataset there. But for needing a dataset as well, only someone who is well familiar with the local cuisine can confidently identify the name of each type of the dish. So if I can say that yes, I can identify the various types of dosa, so I will not be able to do that. So someone who is very familiar with the culture and with the people there can only identify that. So also there is a lack of content on the web in languages other than English. So when we search allosaurus, it triggers a rich knowledge about allosaurus in English. But when we search that in Hindi, so there is nothing at all, or there is only one line. So let's say if we search, or if we check it for a language like Punjabi or Odia, etc., so it will be insane. So we have a pretty good number of tasks at Crowdsource. So there is a label verification task as well. So basically, in this task, each person can has have his or her opinion on this. So basically, someone can find it exciting, someone can find it as a fun activity, or someone can find it scary as well. So for the image label verification, the term that I used previously, that we use the ground truth to justify or to verify that what's the best label for the image. So basically, why crowdsource? So basically, at crowdsource, we need your help in making Google products, work more inclusively, so it learns and knows more about our country, and specifically our country, India, and basically contributing to crowdsource, we are contributing to promote our own culture and heritage. So basically you can help to make the products more useful to more people and in more languages as well. So when you contribute to crowdsource, you will help Google Maps, Google Translate, Google Lens, Google Photos, and Android as well to work better for your local community. So everyone has access to internet, but how do we help them to get enough content that is useful for them? This is also a motive behind crowdsource. So crowdsource, to start contributing to crowdsource, either you can go to crowdsource website, or you can use the crowdsource Android app to contribute in a very gamified way. So there are plenty of tasks like image label verification, handwriting recognition, translation validation, image capture verification as well, and there are a certain levels as well. And the crowdsourced global team gives some rewards to the top influencers from the countries as well. So you can impact maps, you can impact Google Photos. So let's talk about the global crowdsource community. So let's see some images from the crowdsource community across the world. So these are some snapshots of the pre-COVID events. So when we used to have events offline, so these are the various parts where our community is active in. And let's see some reviews from the contributors across the globe. So you can see that sharing knowledge is the best thing in this world. Language gap is barrier in between sharing information. To overcome this, Google introduced the best app. Improving good language database is the most crucial part of the program. I am glad to be a part of this. So all of you can be a part of the Google crowdsource community from Delhi NCR as well. So here are some reviews from Play Store. So for others, the motivation may vary, but this is very personal for me. So he wrote that my father most of the time use Google Docs for his documents and use speech recognition. Also, he speaks Persian, or you can say Farsi. So I use the Google Crowdsource app from Google to help my father. Thank you, Google. So basically, sorry, he is translating the Persian text and helping his father to be more productive. So there are a whole bunch of other reasons as well. So some of other people use it as a gratitude, and you know uh, the most the most motivative thing that I have seen till now is from Bangladesh. So in Bangladesh, they have a will to promote their culture, and their community is contributing at a very huge scale that I can't define you. So here are some top influencers across the world. You can see them. Here is Akansha from India. So here is the example of Bangladesh. In country like Bangladesh, the love for languages runs deep. So basically, language for them is equal to national pride. So in this particular photo, the students are participating in a translation crowdsourcing event. So particularly Simarpreet Singh from GTBIT. He has a will for and a love for his language as well. I have seen that he has contributed drastically for Punjabi. So I will also recommend you to contribute at crowdsource in your regional or in Hindi as well. But at least give it a try. So here are some pics from the local influencer communities. So just don't sit there. You can use the Crowdsource app, download it from Google Play Store or visit the web, and also follow the local crowdsource community, the local crowdsource community for Delhi particularly. So I am sending the link for crowdsource Delhi account, crowdsource Delhi Twitter's account. So I have sent a link. Khushdeep, can you please check that? the link has been sent to the participants as well. Just give me a second. So basically, we'll be sharing the link to you via WhatsApp in the event groups, so you can follow the Google Crowdsource Delhi NCR community and can stay updated for our future events and for our future things. So basically, we are coming really soon with Crowdsource Quidditch, which will be a all India level crowdsourcing competitions, and the winners will get some really amazing swags from Google. So basically, looking forward to see you all there. So that was all from my side. Thank you for giving your time and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.